Hey guys, StinaRose here, and welcome back to another episode from the Welsknight Patron Server. I am here in the basement of the castle, so there's been a little bit of work that I've done between the last episodes, and it's been a while. Last week was ridiculously crazy for me here, and yeah, Dr. Dan was, my husband, Dr. Dan, was on a business trip, so I was manning the house alone, had guests because, as you know, last weekend was American Thanksgiving. So to all my American friends, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. My mom came to visit me because, yeah, American Thanksgiving. So she came to visit, and I didn't get to play Minecraft at all. Like, not even once. So that was a thing. I've missed being on this server. Life is just now getting back to normal so that I can play. And I thought that I would start things off by making a video here on the Welsknight server. I think I mentioned in my last video that I made this wheat farm. I've since made a cocoa bean farm and a chicken farm. So now I have all the chicken I could ever want. So we've got the chickens up top, which are laying eggs. Those are going into hoppers, which are then being shot out here. The baby chicks, they stand on the slab, but they don't burn in the lava until they grow up. And then their drops are brought down into this. Now, I did just clean this out. I can show you in a minute how much we've gotten thus far. Cow farm is still going well. I did map out the island. So here is a map of Storybook Island. Yeah, we've got a lot of things going on, and I realized how much I haven't done. This map should be a whole lot more full. So that is something that we are going to be working on today. I have a plan for a build right over here. Also, you might notice that there is a new island right out here in the ocean. Amazingly enough, I noticed that there was one space out in my ocean that had a single block coming up almost to the surface. It was one block below the surface. So I went out and stood on it because it was kind of fun, and then realized that it was actually a mushroom island. The biome there was Mushroom Island, so I grabbed out some mycelium. Actually, I grabbed out dirt and a couple pieces of mycelium, and I followed where the Mushroom Island biome was. So this is the exact size of the Mushroom Island biome out there. It's a mouthful. Mushroom Island biome. Anyway, so I filled that out, built it up, added a couple of mushrooms because, you know, mushrooms need to be out there. And I've actually been getting some spawns of the mushrooms, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's something to work with. I may end up changing that over to grass and hating myself that I made it mycelium to begin with, but that's okay. And I do have plans for what I'm going to do with that island. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So that's something that I've been working on. And yeah, I also, like I showed you, I made this cocoa bean farm. So if we come over here, it's been producing really, really well. The cocoa bean farm, this needs 50 cocoa beans to run it. Well, there's 50 cocoa beans there. And if we come over here and we press this button, the whole wall shifts back and forth and the cocoa beans fall. Underneath of these carpets is a line of hoppers that feed into the chest. And then all you have to do is come in here and reach up and replant. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. 50 cocoa beans, and it's a really easy thing, and I like it, and it's been working really well for me, which is good because today I actually need some of the cocoa beans for the build I'm making. Need to make some brown concrete, possibly some brown terracotta. So not the glazed terracotta, the regular terracotta. So cocoa beans are a very good thing to have at this point. Just finish putting these up here. Now I could have made this farm a little bit more efficient by not having the carpets underneath, and that would have given me one more row of cocoa beans, but I like the red. I like the red a whole lot better than just the hopper top. So I decided to sacrifice efficiency for beauty. And then if we come over here, we can see we've got like at least another stack and a half, maybe 2 stacks. I should have counted how many were there to begin with. But yeah, that's the cocoa bean farm, and as you can see, they're already growing and plumping, so that's good. I think that's all that I have to show you. We still have the bats flying around from the ones that we named near Halloween, so that's kind of fun. They found a place to land. Did fix the lights and the ceiling, so now we have a ceiling in here, and I think that's pretty much all. So this room is going well. I do need to put in another farm over here. My current plan is to put in a cactus farm on this side, so that can just be going all the time while I'm in the area. But we're getting our farms figured out, and it's a really good thing. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to get busy grabbing some materials for today's build. But I don't know if you noticed when look, I've got my shield back. When I died a while ago, I kind of forgot that I lost my shield. So now I have my shield back. Very happy to have that back. And there was a reason that I needed it, because GracefulAbandon and I went on an adventure. It was a daring and exciting adventure, and I have some footage from that adventure that I want to show you now. So let me gather up my materials and enjoy this clip. We'll see you in a few minutes. As you can see, GracefulAbandon and I are on our way to raid an ocean monument. I kind of let Graceful take the lead with the TNT because I didn't want to blow up, but I did jump in right away to kill this Elder Guardian. Honestly, I was terrified, nervous. I don't have the game audio here because Little Man was around, and I don't like to record with Little Man's voice in the background, just trying to keep things safe for him. Plus, he has a tendency to not be too safe with using his real name instead of Little Man, and that's not such a good thing. But anyway, we did find the Elder Guardians, took them down. I was a little bit surprised at how easy it was to do this. Having end game gear, full enchanted armor, full enchanted sword, it did make things not as scary as I thought it would be. And of course, Graceful's help was a big blessing. I don't think I would have ever done this alone. Just a little bit too nervous with that, but Graceful is an adventurer and she keeps us doing amazing things. But the real reason that we came to the ocean monuments is I need sponge for a project that I'm going to be doing in the near future. And instead of borrowing sponge from others, I decided it might be a good idea for me to have some sponge of my own. So that's why we went ocean monument raiding, and I got 24 out of that first ocean monument, but I didn't know if that was going to be enough. So we found another ocean monument. There's several here around my island, and went at destroying the Elder Guardians in this one as well. A lot of fun. One problem though, I noticed as I was fighting in this ocean monument that I was taking a whole lot more damage than in the first one. Things just seemed to be a little bit harder For one thing, Graceful and I split up a little bit. This Elder Guardian I'm fighting right here, I had to do it all by myself. But I was taking a lot of damage. And it was kind of scary. And later I realized the reason why. I had forgotten to put on my chest plate. So I was fighting the Elder Guardians and all of the Guardians with just my wings on. So nothing was protecting me at the chest plate level. I was not at full armor. Not exactly the best life choice to make there, but thankfully it ended up all working out, and Graceful and I were able to kill all 6 Elder Guardians, the 3 each from the 2 different monuments, without either one of us dying. So that was a really big thing. And when I look back on my my stats, I actually got the final kill on 5 of those 6. So I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I would not have done this, like I said, without Graceful. It was a lot of fun. So thank you, GracefulAbandon, for joining me on this adventure and helping me get the sponge that I need, and just being a great friend. I had a lot of fun. Okay, here we are at the project site for today. I have gone. Vander's having a little bit of trouble with his villagers. They've yeah, he's discovering the joys of villager breeding. Anyway, this is the site for our next build. I have laid out the dimensions of this. So we have, yes, and you can kind of see over here we have Granny. Aletha Prime brought us Granny, captured her somewhere, brought her over, and Granny is going to be part of this build. So as I've mentioned before, every build here on the island is going to revolve around some kind of children's story, either a fairy tale or a nursery rhyme. We've got Jack's house. I do still need to do the beanstalk, not the beanstalk, the Cloud City, where the giant lives. We have Little Miss Muffet, our spawner area, the castle, which is going to include many different stories inside, and apparently this has a sheep in it. But this build is going to be for Hansel and Gretel. Thought it would be really fun as we get closer to the Christmas season to have a gingerbread house right here on the island. So this is going to be our gingerbread house. It's going to be very square because, you know, gingerbread houses, they are square. Now this isn't going to be a perfect square. It's a little bit shorter on the sides than across the length, but I think that'll be okay. And if you recall the story of Hansel and Gretel, the children wandered into the witch's home, eating up the goodies, and then the witch captured them and was going to throw them in the fire, but got thrown in the oven herself. So here's where the oven is going to be. I just put out this stone here to mark off the area. And this is where Granny, over there, is going to be spending the rest of her time. We'll build up the oven, then have the fun of putting her inside. And I'm not quite sure how well that's going to work. I may have to call in some help. Aletha Prime is our resident mob mover. Doesn't usually do hostile mobs, so this could be interesting for her as well. But yeah, we're gonna get Granny into the oven here, but I've got a lot of work to do to get that ready. So let me get started building up the house here, and I will be back with you in just a moment. Alright guys, as you can see, we have made a lot of progress so far on the gingerbread house. I added frosting in the corners. That's kind of what this white is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the frosting holding the gingerbread pieces together. Kind of a candy cane around the doorway. Apparently we have a sheep. I know this one doesn't look much like candy, but it kind of fit the holiday. Let me move back a little bit. I like the way it fit with the holiday feel, because, you know, gingerbread, you kind of think about the holidays, and this just kind of fit that feel. And I think I'm going to replicate this design on the back as well. It also provides a little bit of light, even though we don't necessarily need it here on the Mushroom Island. Around the windows, I've used quartz stairs and quartz slabs, just to, again, give it kind of a frosting feeling. I think on these windowsills I'm going to line up cakes. Just seems to make sense that there would be cakes along the windowsills. What I'm planning on doing is raising the floor here in... You need to get out. Raising the floor here in the gingerbread house so that it's one level higher. So that way you can easily see out the windows. But it does give gives it a nice feeling from the outside to have the level raised. So yeah. And we've got the same type of windows around the outside, the sides, and along the back. Now in the back, right here, like I said, up here I'm thinking about doing that same design. That same design from the front back here. And then, yeah, I think the next thing that needs to happen is I need to put the roof on this thing and figure out what I'm doing with the back. So let me get back at it. And guys, we are back, and if you look, we have a roof now on our gingerbread house, and I think it's looking really good. So I added the quartz stairs along the whole outside to give it, again, that frosting look, and I think it's looking really good. I like using the dark oak going along with the brown concrete. I think it does make it kind of give it a cookie type feel to it. Which is really good for a gingerbread house. Along the back, come over here and I'll show you what I did. So I did add that wreath type design up here and a single candy cane on the back. I think that gives it the flair that we're looking for. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is doing a little bit more roof on... Sorry, try that again. A little bit more work here on the roof. So what I'm planning on doing is adding some color pops, like gumball type gumdrops. I think gumdrops is the word I'm looking for. Gumdrops inside of this roof area to give it some pops of color. I'm also planning on the roof itself, adding some gumdrops up there. I may do some gable type windows. I think that would work because I do plan on making a second story in this gingerbread house. So I may do some gable windows so that there's some natural lighting up there, and I think it would break up this very large, expansive roof and give the build a little bit more interest. But I like what is going on here so far. I like the look of this. I think that I'm onto a good start. Looks kind of crazy with the beanstalk in behind there, but you know, just adds to the atmosphere. So anyway, I'm going to make the second floor of this. Probably put in the flooring inside. As you can see, we still have grass. The sheep did decide to move out, which was a good thing. But yeah, right about here, probably add in a second story so that I can do something with the upstairs of this place. I've got an idea for it, and I think it'll work out well with the story behind this. So let me get back to work. I just wanted to show you what was going on, and I'll get back with you in just a moment. We are back here in the storage room because I have a few more mementos that I wanted to show you. Our memento wall is getting very full. I'm going to have to actually get the final, yeah, I have plans for a room for our mementos, and I just haven't built it yet, like so many things. I have so many plans and just not enough time to get them all done. But I wanted to talk to you about a few more of these mementos. So over here we have our Guardian Hunter memento. Earlier in this episode you saw the clip of Graceful and I killing the guardians, so I put one of the sponges that we collected here as a memento. A couple days ago, Graceful and I also went on a wither killing spree. We spawned 3 withers, not at the same time, individually, and killed them all successfully without dying. So I put one of the nether stars here to remind me of that adventure. I had planned to record. In fact, I thought I was recording, but when I went back to look at the footage, there was no footage. So I'm sorry, guys. I am disappointed that you guys missed out on my first wither kill. But yes, that did happen. And over here we have, I need to put up another memento because I died again. So the 5th death on the server happened. I was flying in the end and flying down toward the portal, and I clipped the bedrock pillar around the end portal. So I died. All of my stuff kind of exploded around the end island, and some of it went through the portal and ended up at spawn. So when I died, I spawned back here in the castle basement, and my stuff was everywhere. But thankfully Vander was around, and he came and he saved me. Well, he saved my stuff, gathered it all up and brought it back to the island so that I didn't end up losing anything. So that's a really good thing, even though I died again. So we are now up to 5 deaths, and kind of hoping that it stays that way for a while. But anyway, that's not the only reason why we're here, because I have finished up the exterior of the gingerbread house, and I wanted to show you guys what that's looking like. So let's come on out here. Come on out and see what's going on. So from here, you can see the gingerbread house in the distance. I've added some gumdrops to the roof. I did make the gables. Let's get a little closer so you can really see what's going on here. So this is the side of the gingerbread house. I did add the cakes to the windowsills, made these custom ice mushrooms. I did decide, instead of doing custom trees, we are going to be doing custom mushrooms around the island. I just thought that would be something different and fun to go along with this. So here is the gingerbread house, and I'm really pleased with the way this turned out. I think it's looking really fantastic. Added some texture variation, brown concrete powder, and brown terracotta. Gives it kind of a crumbly look to it, kind of like a gingerbread house would have. And I'm really thrilled with the way it turned out. I am. I like the pops of color. I love just the whole look of it. And I think, though, this is going to have to be the end of the episode because I am out of time. This episode has taken me a whole lot longer than I planned to record. I started this episode a week ago today. And I'm just now finishing it up. So we will, in the next episode, work on the interior of this home and hopefully get Granny into her place in the fire. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.